Do we have quorum with 3 people? Is that quorum or no?
Okay, of 5. I believe it is.
So technically we could start.
Right. Stands here in 2 capacities. That's interesting. Up. Unless, are you here on 2 devices, Stan?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to turn off my iPad and get back to my PC, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to leave on my iPad, so.
Okay.
And here comes Garrick.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. People hear me?
Hello,
Yeah.
yes, yes, welcome.
Perfect. Sorry about that.
No
Had to
problem.
update everything because why?
All right. Do we have Stan? Or he's coming back?
1 second.
Yes, I've switched successfully. I'm here.
Wonderful, welcome. Okay, well, we have 4 of us here today. So it seems like we can get started. Call the meeting to order, and this meeting is being audio and visually recorded. Roll call, please, Laura.
Sure. Councillor Dobbs.
Here.
Councillor Perry.
I am here.
Councillor Moulton.
Here.
Member Moses doesn't look like has joined us yet, and Member Cutler.
Oh, it looks like you're muted.
Oh. I think she can unmute.
Yes, Member Moses is on her way as soon as I get her the link.
Wonderful, wonderful.
It's always on the agenda on the city website.
That's always where I get it from, yeah. But if I was on my phone right now, I would not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a pain in the neck, so I'm just texting it to her.
Great.
Thanks for that.
Thank you for doing that.
Of course.
Okay. Well, is there any public comment? It looks like perhaps not. Okay. So we can move on to, let's see, would it be the minutes, right? Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
I move approval of the August 13th minutes.
I'll second that.
Wonderful. Roll call, please, Laura.
Sure. Councillor Dobbs.
Yes.
Councillor Perry.
Yes.
Councillor Moulton.
Yes.
And Member Cutler.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Well, that is unanimous. Those minutes are approved. So the next item is updates from members. I guess I will ask who would like, if anybody, I don't know who has updates, but who would like to start if anybody has one. Councilor Moulton.
I have an update.
Wonderful.
I have corresponded with Director Mish, and she has the latest iteration of the revisions to the sign ordinance ready for me and Alan Seawall to review. So we're setting up a meeting to do that.
That sounds great. Thank you for doing that. Anyone else have an update? Dane, perhaps? Or Councilor Perry?
Yeah. So my update is that Dane, Member Cutler, did reach out to me about some changes for the food truck ordinances, which I am, gung-ho to get food trucks going. But I personally went to one of the monthly business meetings for our downtown businesses and told them that we were looking at these food truck ordinances as well as the lighting ordinances. And I know that the consensus was the businesses are very busy working on the Taste of Northampton this coming weekend, as well as the Great Northampton Haunt. So they would like to have space to discuss what our plans are. I think that I tried to tell people that we are not trying to take business away from our brick and mortar, but I think that it would behoove us to invite businesses here. I also can say that what took me aback was that Andrea Munson had vacated the position as director of the DNA. So she was going to be my kind of contact person for everyone. So that has left me and the rest of the DNA trying to figure out what the next step is. So I just wanted everyone to know that
wow.
that's kind of where I am.
Yeah, I was not aware of that. That's too bad to hear about Andrea. But thank you for the update, Councilor Perry. Anyone else? Laura, go ahead.
Not a member, but my only update was that I did speak to Carolyn about the housekeeping change to 35611C, the form-based criteria for 2-family and 2 single-family homes having to do with the covered front entrance and the deletion of the requirement for planning board approval. And she said she does feel comfortable putting it forward as a housekeeping change because it should have just been changed at the time they changed the review process for 2-family and single-family dwellings. So I was going to include it, keep it on the zoning housekeeping worksheet if everybody agrees.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Molly, go ahead.
Update is that I have not combed through for pronoun changes yet, but that is still on my docket and I have not forgotten.
Awesome. Yeah, great.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I missed it.
That coming through the ordinances for binary gender pronouns, that I know that's on my docket. I have not done it yet, but I will.
I'll share that I have been so far mainly focused on the snow removal ordinance, and after doing a lot of thought about like how the fact that I'd really like to see results from these whatever recommendations we make, I decided to actually reach directly out to Mayor Sierra, and her and I had a really nice meeting in her office, just to kind of talk about like what we're doing on the ordinance review committee and kind of like what we could do to work together to make some recommendations that the city will support. And so I thought it went really well, and I feel really optimistic about it. And actually, I'm meeting with her again tomorrow. I think that there's going to be maybe some other people there, possibly Donna Lascalia, and possibly Nancy Forrestal from the parking enforcement, just so we can all kind of put our heads together and come up with an idea that when it comes time for me to present at a future ordinance review meeting about this ordinance, I'd like to have something that people are going to support. So that's my plan right now. So I'll definitely have another update at the next meeting. Cool. Dane, did you have anything you wanted to share?
I mean,
No pressure.
no, Councilor Perry basically, gave our update about food trucks, and the proposed change that I made is very simple. It's striking the words downtown corridor, whatever like moniker we gave to that area of town. It says you can park in any registered spot except in the downtown corridor. And that's the phrase I want to eliminate, is except in the whatever. So that the ordinance simply reads, if you are a food truck, you can park in any regular parking spot, as long as it's not an accessible spot, and you have to like it says you have to pay the parking meter, but you don't have to keep feeding it quarters. Apparently there's some mechanism by which you can, like pay it all at the end of the day or something like that. The ordinance is unclear, but there seems to be a system. And as long as you're parked in a legal spot, it's kosher. Um, and I suspect that any pushback about this that we're going to get that isn't from restaurants is going to be from people who are mad at the idea of food trucks taking up downtown parking spaces. So that is a thing that I anticipate, but not something that I have an answer for beyond, okay. Um, you know, I I think it is worth an experiment, and the next ordinance committee can reinstate the ban on food trucks downtown if it is deemed to be a failure of an experiment.
Great, thank you. Okay, next item was, to talk about, our next meetings that we're gonna have, to possibly schedule them and talk about guest speakers that we might have. So possibly thinking like that maybe like at the next meeting that we have could be a presentation of some sort, or like where we focus on a particular ordinance that somebody's working on. Any thoughts on that?
Sure. I mean, I think perhaps, depending on what comes out of your meeting tomorrow with the mayor, perhaps the sign ordinance is closest to being ready for some kind of a public forum.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Council Perry.
Yes. I've done a lot of thinking about who we need to bring in. And so, as I said, I met with some of the businesses to talk about the food truck ordinance, but also the lighting ordinance falls under that as well. I did have a meeting with folks who helped craft the lighting ordinance, and they expressed some interest of coming to talk either here or at community resources. So luckily, two of us here are on community resources, so we could maybe discuss that with our chair. I also, during our recruitment interviews last week with the police chief, talked about the fact that we wanted to bring him in for some of these ordinances. So I did not give a date, but I do like letting folks know that they will be requested to come in. So I think that we should maybe pick a date that we can give to the police chief as well. And there was one more thing, but it's slipping my mind, so I'll come back.
Cool. Yeah, I was kind of thinking, and maybe you were also you might have also been thinking that when we invite the chief of police, that he could maybe also we could also use that opportunity to ask him questions about the snow ordinance, so we could like maybe arrange it so he's there for multiple topics, basically. Yeah. I guess I personally feel like it's possible that within the next two meetings, like maybe not the next meeting, but the meeting after that, I could be ready to do a meeting about the snow removal. And maybe that's the meeting where we can invite the chief. Does that sound good to you? Okay, cool. Yeah,
That works for me.
okay. Okay, so that could happen in two, we could make that a goal for that to be in not the next meeting, but the meeting after that. And so, and Councilor Moulton, you mentioned the sign ordinance for the next meeting.
I'm saying that because we've done, we've already had, in this committee, we've had one round of discussion that, that could be a topic for a forum where we would invite, in addition to, Director Mish, we might, want to have somebody from the building department in charge of enforcement. And of course, just the general public, who have an interest in signs.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so, should we make that could be, that could be our goal for our next meeting?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
I haven't heard from Attorney Seawald this week, but Director Mish said that he had a lot of things backed up, so I would expect that sometime next week we would be meeting to go over her latest revisions.
Okay, great. And Councilor Perry, could you remind me one more time, what was the other ordinance that you thought that the chief could be a good person to talk to about? With the light ordinance? I forget, sorry.
Yes, I think that we should, in the interest of time for these directors is, or in the case of the chief, kind of pair up those things. So the light ordinance, because one of the comments from businesses have been safety and security. So I think it would be great to have Chief Cartlidge talk about just that aspect and how, for instance, what they would need as well in terms of making people feel safe. And then the snow removal slash, I think we wanted to kind of lump in
Yes,
shrubbery and removal, like impediments to.
exactly, yeah, like obstacles to, yeah, exactly, yeah. Which would include, yeah, overgrown trees and bushes and that kind of thing, yeah.
And perhaps then we have a meeting where we have the chief as well as Donald Scalia
Mm-hmm.
there, because I think that there's overlap between what the police can do for enforcement and what the director of the DPW can offer in terms of her knowledge of snow removal.
So do you think maybe the same meeting could be, like, we can invite them both to the same meeting, or do you think they would be, do you think that that's a good idea?
I would like to do it at
Yeah.
the same time, but what does
Yeah.
everyone? What?
Yes, I think that makes the most sense, especially, because we only have a few months to kind of figure all this out. So yeah, seems that would be very efficient, I think, to invite Donna to that meeting also.
What do other people think?
What's that?
What do other people think?
Oh, exactly, yes. What do other people think?
Are we still talking about a meeting on the lighting ordinance or?
Well, I think that we're thinking of kind of combining, like having a meeting where we talk about lighting ordinance, snow removal ordinance, like maybe in the same meeting.
It seems to me like the two things those ordinances have in common are that the ordinances we want for them currently exist, but the enforcement mechanisms don't work. Is that the commonality here?
At least, yeah, I
Ish,
mean,
kinda? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Like, we don't necessarily want ordinance changes to them because the principles behind them are what we want. Like, the sidewalks have to get cleared, the lights
Right.
have to be dimmer, but people aren't doing it, and there's not an accountability or a way to get it done.
That's a really
And
good,
that,
good way to
and
put
that's
it.
why we want to talk to DPW and police about it. Right?
Definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
completely agree. Like, yeah, when I look at the snow ordinance and like the language of it, it looks pretty good. Like it doesn't seem like we need to change language necessarily. I think the issue is that, like you said, yeah, it's just not being carried out the way to like the way the language says that it should be. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, cool. Any other thoughts on like other meetings, other when we should discuss other topics, such as food truck ordinance, where we could like have a public discussion about that? Could that be the next meeting, maybe the following meeting?
As I stated, I think that waiting past October at least is going to be better for the business community.
Gotcha.
Doing a lot of work coming out of the Taste of Northampton and then going into this great Northampton haunt. So maybe November
Okay.
would be, I guess that's 2 meetings away.
So like okay, so we'd have the next meeting be about the sign ordinance, then the next meeting would be about lighting and snow, and then the next meeting, is that what you're suggesting? Or yeah? That sounds good.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would do plan for 2 meetings in October, one on signs and one on lighting and snow, and then business issues, including food trucks, for November.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I just want to make a scheduling note, which is that I am unavailable for meetings between Monday the 22nd and Friday the 3rd. And I suspect Molly may also not be available for those, as that is the marathon of Jewish holidays.
Their Wednesdays are quite dicey for a while. Ironically enough, Dane, do you know when sunset hits or Havdalah time hits?
On
What the AI transcription does with the word Havdalah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mhm.
Hang on. What date are you looking for?
What was the one that we were talking about? So let's see. 2 weeks from today is the 24th. That'll be
But
and-
the 24th doesn't work.
No.
Right.
The 24th, I will be a pile of soup on my couch following Rosh Hashanah. So no
And
dice there.
and
It's the housing forum for
first-
community resources too.
Right.
the first does not work for us. The 8th of October, Sukkot goes out at 7:01 p.m. So we could have a 7:30 if absolute need be. But really the Wednesdays are just
The Wednesdays are just all Jewish holidays for a while.
same with the Tuesdays.
Sorry, guys.
No, I'm just, yeah, so does that mean that October 8th would work if it was after 7?
After 7, like 7:15. I'm also willing for these topics. I don't expect to come down in a strongly different position. Can
Okay.
we have a reminder how many counts as a quorum for business?
I think it's
Uh,
3.
Yeah, 3 out of the 5 of us. And I do not celebrate that holiday in that way, so I could make an October 8th meeting at some earlier time.
Yeah. So if the committee is okay enough with my contribution in the short term being working on the, little nitty-gritty project, and trusting you all with the topics for the next month or so, that would probably be most aligned with how my life will need to work.
Great. And do you think maybe, like, so after that meeting, after that third meeting we were talking about, do you think maybe on a fourth meeting, you might be able to like present something or something like that?
If we name a date, I can certainly make sure to have it.
Cool,
in
cool.
preparation. I also realized that I never followed up with the whole group around responses I got with ordinances and Indigenous rights. I can sum that up. I forget where we are in order of business. I can sum that up now if you would like, or that can be a different time.
Yeah, yeah, if you want to go for it now, that sounds great.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
So I do not believe one of the emails that got sent out, I'm not sure we ever heard back from. Laura, I believe, sorry, Secretary Gretzler, I don't think that there was,
I remember who we sent it to, Human Rights Commission and the legislators, is that who the two
to
letters?
Jasmine Goodspeed.
Oh, okay. Goodness, I have to look back in my email inbox. I'm not remembering anything specific.
Okay, I believe that, yes, August 1st, you did send it along to Jasmine Goodspeed, and so I never heard back as though she had responded.
Right, and I definitely would have shared it.
Right, which is all well and good at this point, certainly. What I did hear, I did reach out to Representative Sabadosa and Senator Comerford. Representative Sabadosa wrote me back, saying that she did not know of any other city with a similar ordinance. She said a few thoughts if we were to be considering these matters around rights and relationships, is that we would have to address the question of which tribes are consulted, what would happen if they disagree, and what role should tribes who are federally recognized in Massachusetts but not present locally play in decision making. She said, if I were taking this on, I would start with a great deal of conversation and listening. We have also had the issue in the past of limited bandwidth of tribal leaders, so there would have to be some conversation about respecting their time and energy, I would think. Perhaps Rhonda Anderson, the Western Mass Indian Affairs Director, might be a good starting point too. Happy to brainstorm more if helpful. So my takeaway from that email is that this is certainly not a like, oh, here's a couple thoughts, things that we could easily plug in, which makes sense. Like this is not going to go according to like white culture urgency standards or like just let's take care of things by making a fact or a rule or whatever it is. And so it seems like it's a lot of listening, a lot of slow, a lot of respecting other people's capacity, and that even if we wanted to make this a priority, like that's the priority that would not be centering the actual priorities necessarily. So basically seems like this might be not necessarily a tabling never come back to, but what would it be like if the council decided to engage in some sort of process over the next 5 years so that the next time the ordinance review committee comes around, if there is something relevant, there will already be the deeper relationships, the deeper conversations of if this would even be relevant.
Awesome. Oh, Councilor Moulton.
Yeah, thanks, Molly, for doing that work. I concur. I think it's a topic for further study that will need a lengthier period of time, but I do think it's worth a follow-up correspondence of some sort with the Human Rights Commission to see if they had any discussion about it, what their level of interest or what questions they raised.
Thank you. Yes, I was actually thinking the same thing, Councilor Moulton, so thank you. Councilor Perry.
Yes, so I think what I will do or offer is that, so Jasmine has become one of the co-chairs of the Reparations Commission. So possibly bringing that up in maybe new business. We've already, I think we may have come up with an agenda. I'll talk with the chairs. I think that's a good place to put it because it feels reparatory. So that's what I will do. And I agree with everyone else that this is not a thing that we need to take on this current body. I would not feel comfortable with making any moves without the people we're trying to help. So
Exactly. Thank you. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Molly, for that update.
Back
And okay, so,
calendar,
oh, go ahead. What's that?
was it figuring out the calendar of the okay.
currently, I think it looks like October 8th would be a good date to do the sign ordinance discussion,
Yep.
which I feel kind of straightforward. We're going to get a lot of information. We've already talked about it. So then that takes away the onus on Molly to be there and celebrate, do whatever you need to do.
Thank you.
So then the next step would be the lighting and snow ordinance, correct?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
that'll be the next, the following meeting. Yes.
I will also
October 22nd, or are you thinking?
Oh, yeah, I didn't necessarily have a specific date in mind, but that sounds pretty good to me. Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, as far as I know, I don't have anything that would be, that would take me away from that. For the snow ordinance meeting and the lighting. Okay. Counselor Perry, does that sound good to you?
Offhand, it looks good. I don't have my full
Okay.
count. Yeah, I feel that's great. What would it be helpful for us for that one to who we're going to invite to that?
Off the top of my head, I'm thinking, well, definitely the chief of police, possibly Director Lascalia, and possibly, um, sorry, possibly Nancy Forrestal. I think she's the director of parking enforcement. I'm thinking she might have something. She might have an opinion to share with people. I don't know yet, but it seems like she's a potential guest speaker.
One other thought, Councilor Perry, you know more about the concerns from businesses about the lighting changes that have been made, but if it's enforcement questions, then somebody from the building department on lighting.
Hmm. Okay, and so the following meeting after that, or does that sound good in terms of the October 22nd? It sounds like we're doing pretty good there. Okay. Possibly November 5th for the following meeting, which will be, I think, food truck.
Works for me.
Okay.
All right, okay, I'm just going to be real.
Yeah, yeah, be real.
This is
You have an
election,
election the night before. Yeah.
and I don't know how you guys are feeling. Well, I know how Stan is feeling. He's dancing on sunshine. Um, but
Dan's like, I'm getting out of this game.
I just personally feel I might. It's going to be hard for me to do work
Yeah.
to folks, and so I just want to be honest with you all that I just might need today to
Yeah,
be with me.
that's
That
real.
is
Yeah,
super legit, dude.
it is. Yeah, that's real.
And
All right.
since food trucks is one of your ordinances, I don't know that we want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we
Okay,
don't want to do that.
so November 12th.
Works for
Yeah,
me. Yeah, it
works
works
for
for
me.
me.
Yes. Good.
So now we're looking at the after the 12th, there are two more Wednesdays in November. When is our final report due? Like, is it basically December? Sometime in December?
End of
Yeah,
December, yes.
end of December. Okay. Okay, so well, 2 weeks after the 12th will be the 26th of November. There's Thanksgiving, I guess.
That is Thanksgiving Eve.
That'll be Thanksgiving Eve. I don't know how people feel. I could do it, but it's up to everybody else too.
Well, probably, if
Probably
we're gonna,
not.
I mean, probably not. If we're gonna bring people in,
Yeah, you're
uh,
right. Yeah, yeah. Also, yeah, it'd be tough for the public to be involved. There'd be a lot
yes,
of people that wouldn't be able to make it.
yes.
Yes.
My
Okay, so
suggestion,
just possibly December 3rd. Sorry, Garrett, go ahead.
my suggestion, Jeremy, is that during that off time we can start reviewing what we've learned from the other sessions because we really need to start.
Getting ready. Yeah, for the final
So
report.
that that's how I feel. And,
Yeah,
I-
definitely. Yeah, let's get together and work on that. Yeah.
Maybe could we perhaps set aside some time at one of these meetings to kind of make sure that environmental concern related ordinance suggestions from the public like really get aired?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I don't know where in particular to put that, but just making sure that it doesn't turn into it's middle of December, we ran out of time.
Right,
Especially
yeah. So right now we're at
climate is always timely.
exactly, yeah. So December 3rd would be that would be food truck. Is it no? Which one would that be?
it's well, it's food truck.
That is food truck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And
That was the 12th of November.
Yeah,
that's the 12th. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then December 3rd, what are we thinking on the topic for that one? Could that be the one where we talk about environmental
Sure.
concerns?
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds good. Laura?
Councilor Perry had talked about one point about wanting a larger discussion around recycling. Is that still something? Because I'm just thinking we're running out of time with that. I mean, I don't know if that's still an interest. Bringing in the business community on that, I'm just reminding of something I'd heard expressed as an interest.
I'm glad you brought that up, Laura, because it's in my notes to say, and I am feeling that we're running up to some time things, and I think that personally, I would maybe refer this to community resources to continue the discussion, and that we include that we should. This is an issue that that the city and city council should work on in the future. However, the city council shapes up in the future. So, is everyone okay with that? Because I feel like we have a lot of things on our plate, and
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And yeah, me and you are both on the community resources. Yeah. So,
I'm
Sounds
sorry
good.
to say that I missed what the question was. Just then.
Oh, I was just asking, kind of reminding of the
the question was
recycling
whether or
topic.
not
Oh,
we
yes,
wanted
yes.
to delve into recycling.
Thank you. Okay.
and then yeah, and Council Perry suggested referring it to community resources. Yeah. Okay. Well, any other meetings that meeting topics that we're thinking of at the moment? Or that's basically it?
I hope so, because we're running
Yeah.
out of dates.
Absolutely, yeah. I know, I agree with you there. Again, because then we're gonna have to start talking about our final report.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay, great. So that agenda item is now done with. The next one is review referral letters. So that refers to, for me, I wrote a letter to the Northampton License Commission based on the report or the at the public forum we had when Meg Robbins made the comment about she talked about the noise that happens at Telus and the neighbors who have been complaining about that for a long time.
I thought you did a really fantastic job of tactfully saying, can this be your problem?
Oh, thank you.
No, like really. And I don't mind that that's in public record. Like I don't care that anybody hears me say that because this is a licensing commission issue and I think you brought it to their attention clearly and politely.
Thank you, Dane. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to word it like in as best way as possible. So, any other thoughts?
Just one fix. The public
Yep.
forum was June 30th.
Did I say July? I'm sorry about
Oh.
that. Yeah, I did say July. Thank you, Stan. Councilor Perry?
And so I also I brought up this issue as well as the reentry. And so sorry, life has been hectic.
Mhm.
Surprise, surprise. But I did send a draft to Laura, you, and Jeremy right
Yeah,
before the
I
meeting
just got
started.
it. I saw it, but I didn't
The
get a chance
folks
to read it
again,
yet.
third part. Really, what I tried to do is, I think it's, since both of these are kind of license commission issues, I just kind of lumped them in together. Took out some of the detail that we did. Well, I like the detail that you put, Jeremy, but yeah, what I sent is just kind of an alert that we would like to have the license commission review these things. As I looked at the reentry portion of the ordinance, there's a line in there that says that businesses are supposed to report to the police department if they're going to be there after 2:45. There's a lot of language about the trial period, which we are well past. We're 20 years past the trial period. So I just felt like sending both of them at the same time. So maybe we can combine parts of.
Sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, I was thinking about it too, and I wasn't sure which would be better. doing it in one letter or two letters. Yeah, so I haven't read your letter yet, but I'd be happy. It sounds like it's pretty good to me, but maybe we could read it now. Is that possible?
Could I,
Oh,
could
are
I,
you guys?
could I suggest that, Council Perry, who was this? Was this sent to all of us, or who got your?
No, I did not send it to everyone. I
Okay.
sent it to Laura.
Okay.
Very like
All right,
before we.
so can I suggest that the chair and the co-chair work on this letter together, and whatever they come up with, I feel comfortable getting off to the License Commission so that we're not bogged down in group editing or waiting for us all to approve the letter.
yeah, that sounds great to me, Counselor. Counselor Perry.
And then the other thing is, I actually have a meeting with the License Commission coming up for their
Oh,
next. So I can kill two birds with one stone by me and you going over it and then presenting it to them.
okay.
If you're not comfortable knowing that I will represent us all in these
I
matters.
do feel comfortable with that. Do other people feel okay with that?
Yes, I feel entirely comfortable with that. The only thing I would ask is when the letter is finally sent, if you would send, Laura, if you would get a copy to the rest of the Ordinance Review Committee so that we have that for our record.
Sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, great. Well, it seems like we figured that out. The next issue was our next meeting, which I think we've already talked about. Our next meeting is going to be October. Oh, sorry. Now I'm forgetting. When is our next meeting? October 8th?
October 8th.
Yes, October.
And the time could vary from our normal time depending on availability of the key people that we want there. So
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, does anybody have any new business that they'd like to discuss? Okay, do I hear, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn, submitted.
Second.
Okay, motion made to adjourn by Dane Cutler, seconded by Councilor Stan Moulton. Roll call, please.
Counselor Perry,
Yes.
Counselor Moulton,
Yes.
Member Cutler,
Yep.
Member Moses. Member Moses, I see her
Oh,
there.
I
I'm sure
said
she's in
yes.
agreement. Okay, and Counselor Dobbs.
Yes. Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank
And,
you.
Okay.
everybody did a great job, and we'll see you on October 8th.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks
Okay.
all. Good night.
Good night,
Night.
everybody.